everyone, welcome to Chalchitra Talks. मेरा नाम सुमेधा है. For this week's episode, I want to talk about one of my favorite acoustic artists. Her name is Billie Marten, and she's a British singer-songwriter and musician. So for many of my previous recommendations, I've mostly recommended a band or a particular song from that band, mostly for like the song structure, talking about the composition or particular parts of the song that I really enjoyed. But for Billie Marten, my favorite elements are like very simple. It's her voice and the lyrics of her songs. Over the past few years, I pretty much drifted away from listening to like a lot of acoustic artists. But Billie's the one who brought me back to the genre last year. And she's definitely one of my most, I guess, treasured discoveries from last year. Starting with my recommendations, I want to first talk about her latest album called Feeding Seahorses by Hand, which was released in 2019. And this is the album through which I got introduced to Billie Marten. And there's this one video of hers called Peach, which is basically like a mini album. It has 4 songs from this particular full album. This particular video kept coming up in my YouTube recommendations for quite a long time before I finally checked it out, and I'm so glad that I did that. I want to recommend 2 songs from this particular album, and that was really difficult to choose because the whole album is really good. The first song that I want to talk about is called Cartoon People, and this is the opening song of the album, and here the lyrics are very much worth noticing. The song is apparently about a fictional point of view of Donald Trump from the perspective of his daughter. Because of how the song is, like how soothing and soft Billie's voice is and how the overall tone is, I would have never guessed that this song is actually about like a serious topic, something that is very relevant currently and was also last year. So it kind of shows like how mature Billie's song lyrics are. मुझे बहुत टाइम तक नहीं पता था कि this is what the song meant. And even if you read the lyrics, it won't be kind of clear right away. I got to know about this because I was going through one of her interviews. Otherwise, I would have never guessed that this is what the song is about. So I would definitely encourage you to check out the lyrics if you like this song. The next song that I really love from this album is called Toulouse. And this is a perfect example of how beautiful and soothing her music is. So it's inspired from when Billie was working in a bar in London, and it's from the perspective of an observer who notices mundane day-to-day details about people that she is watching. I would ideally want to recommend the entire album because all the songs are really nice, but some more of my absolute favorite ones from the album are Anda, Fish, Blood is Blue, and Blue Sea, Red Sea. If you do listen to the whole album, I would recommend watching her live performance in the BBC York studio on YouTube. And it feels like it's the recorded, like the actual version, and maybe even better. You can see how effortlessly this comes to Billie and how talented she actually is. So I would highly recommend that you watch the live performance. In case you don't want to listen to the whole album, I would recommend the video for Peach, the one that I mentioned earlier. The 4 songs in this particular video are different from the ones that I've already recommended, so it definitely would be worth checking out. The video for Peach is also very nice. It has a very countryside and like rustic vibe to it. Next, I want to recommend 2 songs from her first full-length album, Writings of Blues and Yellows, which was released in 2016. By the way, she was just 17 years old when she released this particular album. And she apparently started her own YouTube channel when she was 9 years old. So she's been doing this for a long time, even though she's still very young. The first song that I want to talk about from this album is called Honey and Milk. Given Billie's age, the lyrics of the songs, most of her songs are very mature. And if you would just listen to Billie initially and not know anything about her, you won't have guessed that she is just 20 years old now. This song is centered around a couple in which one of the partners is not satisfied no matter how much more he gets. Lines like, but all you want is milk, more than you can drink, kind of like reflect this idea. Again, really nice lyrics and very mature for someone of her age. The next song that I want to talk about from this album is called It's a Fine Day. And here the highlight is that the whole song is just Billie singing, only her voice. And there are no instruments that have been used. She's not even playing her guitar in this. It's the perfect example of how really soothing and gorgeous Billie's voice is. And it's, I think, easy for anyone to like her music. The song is almost like a lullaby and is just like qualities of a good day, qualities of a fine day. So two more songs definitely worth mentioning from this album are Heavy Weather and Green. So these are all my recommendations for Billie Marten, and I really hope to see her like become more popular with time. She already is, but yeah, even more than she is now. I really hope that, and I'm sure that she will. Please let me know what you think about the songs in the comments, and I'll be back next week with another recommendation.